Hey guys, today we have another video made by TFK Devil. I just like a quick voiceover. So today it's a video where we are going to be discussing where Man United left off. It's a great video by Devil. I've watched it, done it. Sorry that I kind of screen record. That's the only way. Hopefully you enjoy. We'll definitely have to watch longs anyways. Just a quick thing. Tune in on Friday at 10 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. Eastern to watch us in Metallic Cup in the group stages. We're firing that, and if we win, I'm pretty sure we're through to the playoffs. So watch us on that, because should have more videos coming out than ever soon enough. Anyways, just been trying to manage this tournament and all that. And guys, thanks to TFK Devil anyways for this video. I obviously watched it all before I tried to upload it. Great video, some insight, and
FK Devil, not your usual Noah, but today will be more United content. So, the Premier League could return as early as June 1st, stated by the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson. With this in mind, I think it will take longer because the players have to get back to training, which they haven't been doing for months now, and that's going to be very tough, I believe. Footballers never go that long without training. They're always, active and doing something. It'll be interesting to see the fitness levels of all the clubs. There are mixed emotions coming back to the Premier League. Some clubs don't. Some clubs want it to resume. Obviously, clubs in a relegation battle do not want the Premier League to resume. They want a season voided. We've even seen Brighton say that some of their players have the virus. It's a bit, it could be considered a bit dodgy. But there are two sides to the argument. Resume football, give it a chance, or void the season and just pick it up again when it's safe. As a United fan, I personally have mixed emotions about this. I think I want football to return, but Liverpool are going to win the league. It's as simple as that. If the season is voided, then the season is voided. That's another year without Champions League football, I'd believe, and it would be no Liverpool winning the title. However, if we get top four, if the season returns, we'd likely get Sancho, which would be huge for rebuild. Looking down the road, I think it would be best for United and our club if the Premier League were to come back and return. However, I think a lot of United fans would disagree, saying the rivalry with Liverpool is more important, which I totally 100% understand. We were in the Europa League. We were the favorites, I believe, to win that competition, but with this whole virus, I believe European football is out of the conversation. At least I think it should be, because travel will not be safe due to the spreading of the virus. I think the Premier League should choose a couple grounds across the country and choose which ones are best for everyone to self-isolate and have a game. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think players will be allowed to celebrate. If so, to not, as limited touching as possible. Football is a physical game, though. I don't know how you're going to be able to avoid it. But it's definitely not as contact as some sports are, so I think they should be able to resume it. But I think resisting contact will definitely be hard. If one player has it on the pitch, then the whole field has it, plus the manager, plus the press he speaks to, plus his whole family. It's a tough decision, and we'll see what happens with the Bundesliga and how that returns. I know some German players have tested positive for the virus. It could just be one of those things where everyone just has to move on. There are different ideologies on how to handle this. Personally, like I said, I think the league should return, give it a chance. I think that'd be best for the world and United, because so many of the world watches the lovely game. And it'd be great to have it back. It'd help people through the rough times that we're going through currently and help the clubs that are struggling with revenue. When you look at the table, it's definitely tough. There's not much separation between anyone except Liverpool. Now, there are two differences between what United did before Bruno Fernandes and what United did after Bruno Fernandes. Before Bruno Fernandes, the results were inconsistent. We only had success against the top six. We could not break teams down. All these tactics were quite stagnant. They pretty much stayed the same. Hit teams on the break, soak up the pressure as we saw in every game. It worked sometimes, and then when Bruno came, the tactics didn't really change, but we were definitely more clinical. We created more chances. Because the service to the strikers were much better. Before we had Lingard and Pereira creating those chances, and obviously those players are just not good enough. But when we got Bruno in, there was definitely a change in the way we played. We were finishing off the chances. We saw us beat City and Chelsea both 2-0. We started picking up results at home. It was starting, to get more consistent. We had picked up momentum. I believe we were only 3 points behind Chelsea. But Sheffield United have a game in hand. Now this is where it gets interesting. If the season were voided, Sheffield United fans would be absolutely livid because they would have easily had a shot at top four. I still think they have a very good chance of getting it with the way United have played, and nothing's out of the equation. Now, I will say this is where fitness and teams, academies, and teams, nutritionists and doctors are going to come into play more than ever before, is because of how these players have not trained. When the players get back to training, it's going to be very important. I think players have to slowly ease back into it. No running, extreme, physical play out there. Self-isolate. Last thing we need is a big outbreak among one team, and we can't do it then because they won't be able to play for at least weeks. So like I said, it's going to be very interesting. I think everyone, if you're a football fan, should be watching the return of the Bundesliga. I know I will. Eyes on Sancho, potentially Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, many more names in there. Bayern, big club. Still, it's only Dortmund, I believe, are only 4 points off Bayern in the Bundesliga, so we could see a potential surprise. I believe last season in the Bundesliga it came down to the last day. So it'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But getting back onto United with Bruno Fernandes, remembering where we left off, I would be very excited. And think about Pogba, Rashford, those two players back, two very important players. We saw Martial and Rashford and what they can do together. We saw what Martial can do by himself, and it was outstanding. So I will be really excited. I'll be looking at those two to link up well and score a lot of goals. Pogba, on the other hand, he needs to do it now. He needs to prove himself. This is his make or break. I'm tired of the Pogba discussion. I want him to settle it himself. I want him to prove to United fans what he is or what he isn't. This is decision time. This remaining of the Premier League season, and there's some people gonna say, oh, you can't judge him off that. Look at the training. Look at the injuries he's had. He had to come back into all of this. I don't care. He's a professional. He needs to be able to prove himself right now, either now or never. I think it's going to be this remaining time he has will be pivotal to whether he's part of our long-term plans or whether we move him on. It's as simple as that. I think, like I said, it's make or break. I will be heavily interested to see what he does. We've heard different things on Pogba. Some sources have said that I think it is clear that he wants to move away from United. But then some have said he's opening to stay with Bruno, and some say that he wants to sign a contract. It's that whole Mino Raiola. We don't know. He says everything. We need to hear Pogba speak for himself. He is very sheltered by his agent, which is in some ways smart because oftentimes players say whatever they want, and that could hurt them when their next contract comes up. So, like I said, it's going to be very interesting where United left off. I would be excited. Just keep in mind, like I said, the training. It could start off slow. We're going to see how games are played. I've heard talks on letting teams have a bunch of subs. Like, you can make as many substitutions as you want. I've heard situations when the game is shortened quite quickly. And several other ideas. There are only, I believe, 9 or 10 games left in the season for the Premier League. It's not much. But it's definitely time for United to pick up momentum. Imagine if we picked up all those results. And remember, we're supposed to play Tottenham. That was the game we left off on when the whole Corona thing broke out. That was when that's who we were supposed to play. And it never happened. Mourinho, Tottenham, we'll see what happens. That's going to be amazing. Because that will be another big test for Ollie. Mourinho likes to sit back, keep a low block and play good defensive football. Can only break him down. Bruno and Pogba in that midfield, they have to do something be very interesting to see. We need to go take points from that game. I'm not sure if Harry Kane will still be injured, either that, and then Heung-min Son, who's been, interestingly enough, been serving his military in South Korea. It's all going to be very interesting. I think I've said that like a thousand times. But like I said, I'd be excited. Get back, watch the old videos. I've watched highlights and stuff to see what was happening. It's tough. It seems like it's been forever since we got to see United play. But but like I said, I hope you guys are staying safe. Remember to subscribe. I'm happy to be back making videos. Hopefully I'll be back for the watch-alongs. I should be. And have a good day. Bye-bye.